Hey everybody, won't it always bored, never boring in my review of issue 46 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine, and this one is pretty good in terms of what you get with the magazine. For those of you who don't know what Warhammer 40,000 Conquest is, where have you been? This is a weekly publication from Hachette Publishing in association with Games Workshop, and it is priced at $7.99. Every week you get a magazine with some cover products, which is either hobby supplies like paints and brushes or miniatures, and with this particular issue we get miniatures. Quite a lot of miniatures actually. What you actually get is this frame here, which looks incredibly busy, and it looks incredibly busy because there's a whole bunch of different stuff on it. First of all, there is a bloat drone, and then there is a Lord of Contagion. See if we can find another bit of the Lord of Contagion to give you a better idea of what he looks like, because that's his cape, his big flowing cape. Well, I can't immediately see. Well, there's his big axe. So, Lord of Contagion, bloat drone, and then 4 Death Guard Marines. And that may seem like a really weird mixture of bits and pieces. And it is, because this is actually one of the frames from the Games Workshop starter sets. This particular frame, it's not available at retail. You can only get it either as part of No Fear, which is the mid-tier starter set for Warhammer 40,000, or you can get it in the Dark Imperium box set, which is the big main entry point of getting into Warhammer 40k. So there is no individual retail price for just this frame, and because it is part of a starter set, which is supposed to give you the beginnings of an army, it's got all kinds of different bits and bobs on it. This makes my life a little bit difficult, and I've had this problem in the past. In previous issues, they have included frames from starter sets, and it makes it difficult to price out, because what I normally do with my videos is I do a comparison of the price of subscribing to the magazine at $7.99 a week versus the price of purchasing the cover products at retail to give an indication of how much you're saving by subscribing to the magazine. In this particular case, that's not easy to do because you can't just go out and buy that frame. I mean, you can go onto eBay and probably some parting out kits might sell you that frame, but you can't go to an official Games Workshop store and purchase that for a set retail price. And in fact, the individual bits of it aren't available either. You can get a bloat drone from Games Workshop, but this is an sort of easy build. It's not push fit, but it's an easier. It's a simple build. It's relatively straightforward, and it doesn't have any weapon options. So this is a relatively straightforward bloat drone. The bloat drone that you can purchase at retail is a more complicated kit that actually has weapon options and things like that, and it's priced at £30. So you could say this bloat drone, you'd pay £30 to get it, but you wouldn't get this particular bloat drone. The Death Guard Marines, there's 4 of them. There's no retail product where you can buy 4 Death Guard. You can buy a box of 3 easy build Death Guard for £10. So you could say, well, 4 Death Guard, if you're paying £10 for 3, you could say maybe £10 again for those, or maybe a little bit more. And again, this particular Lord of Contagion isn't available as a separate purchase, and in fact there is no Lord of Contagion as a separate purchase from Games Workshop, but most of the Death Guard characters retail for around £17.50, so you can maybe assume that if this miniature was available at retail, it would have a price of £17.50. So you could look at this kit and go, wow, that's a massive saving. You've got a 30 quid vehicle, a £17.50 character, and at least £10 worth of Death Guard Marines. But, like I say, it's part of starter sets, and starter sets are deep discount products to get you started in the hobby. And the No Fear set, the mid-tier set, has a retail price of £50, and includes 5 frames of miniatures, of which this is 1 frame. So, I'm not going to price this as saying £30, £17, £50, £10, because I think that's blowing out the value. It's distorting the value of the magazine. If you were going to pay £30 for a bloat drone and £10 for 3 Death Guard and then another £17.50 for a Lord of Contagion, you're better off going and buying No Fear for 50 quid or getting it online and getting a 20% discount and getting it for considerably less than that. So what I have done with previous issues, and I'm sorry if I'm labouring the point here, because I need to be very specific and clear about how I'm doing this, because some people won't agree with how I'm doing it. But the fairest way for me, I think, to show the value of the magazine without completely distorting it and saying you're getting way more value than you are, I'm valuing this sprue at £10, and that's because it's one frame of 5 frames from a £50 kit, so £10. And yes, if they were to break up those components and sell them, they would charge more than £10, but you can't do that. You can't buy that frame. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm sorry if I've laboured the point there, but I do think it's important when I'm talking about how I'm valuing things to be as clear as possible. And like I say, some people won't agree with that, and some people will say that's crazy to say there's only £10 worth of value there. But I already have all of this stuff because I have the No Fear starter set, and like I say, I bought that for, I think I paid something like £42 for that kit. Even though I'm only saying this is a value of £10, it's well worth your $7.99 cover price, because it's a really good way to get to build an army. I mean, if you want a couple of bloat drones, you can go into Games Workshop and pay 30 quid a pop, or you can buy 2 of these magazines at $7.99. You've got 2 of them. Sure, you don't get the weapon options, but is it worth it at the end of the day, paying 60 quid for 2 at Games Workshop, or buying 2 here for 16 quid? I know what I would do. And again, if you need a leader for your army, $7.99 for this magazine, you've got a leader. And everybody can use extra Death Guard if they're running a Death Guard army. So although I'm saying it's a £10 monetary value, the intrinsic value of having this frame, I think, is much higher than that. It's a really difficult one to price up. It's really tricky. This one's given me a bit of a head scratching moment. But there we go. So what I'm doing is I'm saying that this is a value of £10. You pay $7.99. You're making £2 and a penny saving over purchasing this. But obviously, this represents a much better way of getting a Death Guard army built quickly for very little price. It's a good deal. Crikey. Let's have a look at the magazine. So here we go. We've got Death Guard reinforcements. Yes, we have many Death Guard reinforcements. And here's a bit about the bloat drone. So here we go. Actually like a creature sort of crushed into an armoured shell. And not very happy about it. If you look at them from the back, you can see all the fleshy, nasty bits. They're only sort of armoured from the front, because they're always boldly going forward. So here we go. This is these are the weapon options that would be available if you had the other kit. You'd have to buy the £30 kit if you wanted to have this lovely thresher type grinding bar. And then we've got some build instructions. Build instructions for the Marines. There's some really good miniatures in this set. I really like this guy. He's really cool. They only go together one way. They are not easy build. They're not push fit. They do require glue, but they are monopose. They only go together one way. You're not getting any options. So yeah, other Death Guards that you can buy at retail do have customization options. This one I think is my favourite Death Guard miniature. I absolutely love this guy. I think he's brilliant. It's just really such a dynamic pose. He's going for it. This one, not so keen on this guy here. But in the end, you will have 4, including one throwing a stick grenade. But yeah, this guy here, he's my favourite. And then we've got building the bloat drone. And as you can see, no, there's no weapon options. It's just waxed together. It's a really cool miniature when it's together. And like I say, as long as you don't mind either fielding the same weapons on each of your bloat drones, or you play against people who are happy to say, I'm proxying this guy, this guy's weapons are actually something different. Which you should always play with people who are happy to do that. As long as you've marked your miniature in such a way, put a token or something on it so that in the heat of battle, people remember that's actually got a different weapon to what it looks like, I think you're okay. And then we have our Lord of Contagion, which is a super cool miniature, but I already have this miniature, so I don't need it. And look, there's some extra bits. The parts shown here are extra. Store these in a safe place. They are used in a later issue, because we're going to get another frame from the starter sets, which has the other bits and bobs to complete our 5th Death Guard. And then we have painting guides. I've talked about the painting guides so often, and I'll say it again. It's all good stuff. They're good guides. They are doing the eyes here with Mephiston red, then Wild Rider red to paint a crescent. And that is very similar to how I painted the lenses for the little robot thingies, the drone things from Blackstone Fortress. I posted a painting guide recently. I did a very similar thing. I did Mephiston red, then I did Wild Rider red in like a crescent, and then I just did a little thin line of Flash Gets Yellow. So that's a very similar method to what I have done in the past. Finished models, looking good. Set of awesome Death Guard boys. I do like the way they're showing you the front and back of the miniature, so you can get a good idea of what you've missed if you've missed something. This is such a cool miniature. It's busy, there's a lot going on, but I think that's the case with a lot of things. Power Struggle, Mission 30. The Demon Primarch of the Death Guard, Mortarion, has become displeased with the progress of Lord Felthius' invasion. In his infinite wisdom, he has dispatched another of his favoured lords, Lord Gangrus, to ensure the invasion of Corvon II continues according to his dastardly plans. God, dastardly. That's a word I haven't heard for a while. Lord Gangrus, Lord Felthius. Ooh, we have a bit of civil war. Interesting. Yeah, this is Death Guard versus Death Guard. That's pretty cool. Yes, there's a bit of a smackdown between two Death Guard forces. I like that. So Lord Gangrus gets 5 Plague Marines, a Rhino, a Bloat Drone, and a Blightbringer. And Lord Felthius has his Tainted Cohort, another set of Marines, a Mephitic Blight Hauler, and a Biologus Putrefier. Cool. What a cool idea to have a little bit of civil war. Up until now, every single fight has been Ultramarines versus Death Guard. So that's interesting to see them mix it up a little bit. Good stuff. And then we have the data sheet for the fitted bloat drone. And that's it. Blank on the back, which is nice, so you can rip that out and use it, and you're not, taking any useful information that you need at another time. Right, there we go. That is that. It's a good issue. Despite the difficulty I have in giving it a monetary value, I would say it's just a really good way. If you're interested in Death Guard and you want to start a force, or if you just want to build your force a little bit more, it's just a great way to do it for $7.99. I think even just for a bloat drone, $7.99 is great value. So it's one of those issues where the monetary value I'm giving it doesn't necessarily tie up with the value that I see in this particular issue. This is a good issue. What's next? Oh yeah, it's the Space Marine Land Speeder. We talked about that last time. Looking forward to getting that. But then in issue 48, what are we going to have? We are going to have bikes. 2 bikes. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that they charge. You usually bikes come in sets of 3, I think. So I don't know. I don't know whether that represents good value or not. But I don't have any bikes. Well, I have one bike, and it's from the Deathwatch Overkill board game. So be nice to have. Oh, and I have Orc bikes as well from Speed Freaks, but I don't have Ultramarine bikers. That's what I should have said the first time, isn't it? Anyway, I'm done. I think I've been talking for long enough. I'm going to put up the price guide here, the value of the products at retail versus the cost of subscribing to the magazine, not taking into account discounts, not taking into account free gifts, not taking into account the value of the magazine itself, which obviously has a value in and of itself. And hopefully some people will find that interesting. Please leave your comments and queries below. I will do my best to respond, and hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.